it's better to have no agenda at all. I mean,
There's no, yeah, there's no you to have an agenda. It's literally scenes passing in front of you. That's the only way really to describe it. It's like the scenes are changing and you're totally into it in that moment, involved in the scene, and then that scene passes and it's gone. It's just, it's just gone. That's it. There's nothing happening, nothing going on. It can be recalled later if it's like on the calendar. Oh, did you meet with Joe yesterday at noon? Well, yes, I did. This is common, easy, no problem. But there's no footprints. There's no like heavy uh, anchors holding you into yesterday or pulling you into tomorrow because you're not there. It's formlessly aware.
yeah, I think that, if you, but I just wonder about people who've experienced traumas, and then get re-traumatized, that's must be hard to deal with because then the body mind brings up, oh, I want to avoid this again, because the situations are painful or,
But but again, and Maharaj would say, prior to being this, there's no pain, there's no pleasure. Anything that you've been through in this illusory world is absolutely illusory. You, the selfless self, have not been touched. You could say trauma of whatever kind. Maybe your parents beat you and locked you in a closet, but you, the selfless self that you are, has never been touched.
right.
It's not possible to touch that. So remain with your selfless self, and the instant that you touch your selfless self and you are there in with yourself and you go deeper and deeper in your selfless self, it is absolutely seen and known that you are formless. Everything in form is illusion, and it has nothing to do with you. You were not body, you are not body, you're not going to remain the body. Body is not your identity at all, ever, never was. Prior to being this, no body, no world. After leaving the body, no world. You're not taking anything, you're not leaving anything, because there never was anything. It's an appearance in the something. And good experiences, bad experiences, you're not an experiencer. There's no experience, no experiencer. In order to have an experience, it has to come along with the body. We talked about this last week. You can't ask a question without believing yourself or stating yourself as a body. And so all experiences this body may have experienced things, but you, the selfless self, never did. You're formless.
Yeah, you have to, the realization of that is essential.
Absolutely. But when you know yourself, and that's why Maharaj says all the speaking, all the spiritual talk, all the spiritual books, when you know yourself in a real sense, they can all be thrown away because they were just there to get you to your selfless self. Once you have known yourself in a real sense, the entire world is absolutely illusion. It's seen. And then there's no attachment to the world. There's no attraction to the world. You're still using a body in the world, just as if you, the dreamer, were using a dream body, but you absolutely know it's a dream. So if you saw terrible things inside the dream, well, this is not good, but it's a dream. Me, the dreamer, is not affected by this at all. And it's the same. When you know yourself in a real sense, all of this manifestation, all of this world that you're seeing, the body you're using, everything in form is appearing on your spontaneous presence. And you have nothing to do with the illusory world. Nothing. And every time the mind sits there and tries to present a thought in form with you, the formlessness, it's disregarded automatically. There's nothing. You have no worries. You have no trauma. You have no, unless you want to believe in that, you can certainly create a conceptual world in your mind through thoughts identified with that there's been a lot of trauma, and therefore my next experience, I'm bringing that trauma into that next experience, and naturally I'll behave this way because I'm so traumatized by the past. But you, the selfless self, never were traumatized, never had any of these things happen to you. And once you know yourself in a real sense, doesn't really matter.